So let me tell you what I'm thinking, because it might be a good idea and it might be a terrible idea, but there's really only one way we're going to figure out what kind of idea it is. What I'm thinking is that we go ahead and spend some of this money that we have building a passenger line that goes from Philadelphia over to Fargo. Now, something I do want to avoid is having to build a little shuttle bus line that goes out to this station here, because this is almost exclusively going to be a cargo station. And obviously Fargo at some point is probably going to have some connections that aren't just Philadelphia. So what I think I want to do is use this sort of bit of land here, which means I need to take out this road and this road, and that's a lot of money on demolition, but I'm going to take out all of this as well, as expensive as it is, and I want to use this space for a nice big passenger train station. So we're going to do this, and we're going to upgrade this, and I guess we'll upgrade this guy as well, and bring a line sort of straight over here and straight into... Well, actually, we'll take it to that intersection right there. We'll do something like that just to make it a little bit different. And I suppose this guy gets upgraded as well. And essentially, that space there is going to be for a passenger train station. So if we go to buildings, we go to passenger station. I'm going to make it a bit of a longer one, just simply because eventually the trains are going to be a bit longer. So we're kind of future-proofing this thing. And essentially, it can go, I guess, right about there. Although I probably want to make it a little bit lower, which doesn't seem to be an option. So I guess right about there for $685,000. And I suppose we'll hit this area with a bit of a smooth brush as well, just to, just to make this a little nicer around here. A little bit expensive to do this, but might as well just even things out ever so slightly. And I think that's probably a good spot. I think that'll be okay. We can bring the line in from just sort of over here, and we can hopefully do some good here. So I'm actually going to just go ahead and take out this and all of this. And obviously that's going to mess with us for a little bit. But essentially what I want to do here is I want to go to tracks. I want to get this, and I want to run this guy straight into there. Now that road is not going to, that's not very good looking, is it? Let's take this road out for a second and take this bit out as well. And we'll give that another shot and see if we can't make it look. In fact, let's take this back a little bit further to about there. And let's give that a shot from here, going all the way to there. Now, what does that look like? So it is raised up a fair bit, but it does maintain a good amount of speed going through there. So I'm going to, I'm actually just going to get rid of this guy as well. And that'll get rid of any weirdness with roads. And now this should run in here kind of nicely without roads doing weird things. So if I do that, it's automatically parallel, which is great. That looks fine by me. It's not, coming in here perfectly, but that's all right. And then essentially all I need to do is turn off the parallel tracks for a second. We'll bring this guy to here. And we'll bring this guy sort of to here. And we'll just connect them across and everything should be all right. I think that's probably enough track to do that. So this guy needs to go across to that spot. And this guy needs to go over to that spot right there. And then we just need to get some signals on this and obviously, set up the lines and all that good stuff and set up the crossover point. There's still work to be done is what I'm getting at. So now that this is all done and smoothed out, and now that it has all of its signals, we are pretty much in a spot where we can go ahead and set this up. So let's have a bit of fun here and let's see what this is going to look like. So new line from Fargo Holt going all the way over to, oh, I forgot I need some tracks to do this, don't I? We'll set it up like that. That's okay. I guess the way we can do this, well, we're going to need to somehow connect this all together. I hadn't thought about that. We'll go from like here, right? So we'll go from about there straight over like that. Now that's maybe going to cause some problems later on, but for now, that's fine. And then from here, we want to come in here and go to that spot right about there. And that should be fine. We can set up some signals at, say, here. And I think we have some back here, which is okay. And that should be all right. So the train's going to come in on the right. It is going to come out on the right and go over to the other right. So we'll get a little crossover point right about there. And that should be wrong. That's going the wrong way. So let's just undo that and do it this way. So the train comes in on this side, crosses back over, and everything is all right. I do think we're going to need a signal here, potentially. I'm not sure if that's a good idea, but we'll figure that out. And that now gives us the opportunity to have this this passenger line, which is doing everything that I wanted. Why is that off the screen? Doing everything that I wanted it to do. So let's go in here. This is going to be train cargo, so train passenger. And it is, I guess, Philly/Fargo. And that's fine. And in terms of colors for this, I mean, we usually use yellow for Philly. We've been using green for Fargo. I don't think it really matters. I guess we'll go for, let's go for like this sort of faded yellow color. That sort of, I don't know what you call that. What, sandy, yellowy color. That'll do. And that seems fine. Now we just need a train for this. So let's see what we're looking. We'll buy some vehicles. Obviously going to be steam. I guess it'll be the Baldwin class. We'll go for black because it looks cool. And in terms of passenger wagons, I guess these guys, we can carry 16 people. We'll go for a nice sort of, this red right there, I think is good. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A capacity of 80 seems pretty good. 4.7 million for this thing is a lot of money, but we'll send it out. We'll see what happens. We'll hope for the best. I also want to see what it looks like. Oh, I like that a lot. Slightly disappointed it's only the roof of these wagons that's in red, though. So hold on a minute. Let me manage this vehicle. Let me modify it. And I don't think I can repaint. No, I can't repaint individual parts, can I? All right, well, that's fine. We'll send that thing out. We'll see what happens. I have my doubts that it's going to be very popular, but we'll see. Although I suppose it would be more popular if I set up some lines going around Fargo, which is growing, by the way, or was growing. It's this right here. Number of residents is stable. That was a little arrow not too long ago. Fargo is doing all right. It's also getting a really good amount of food and not very much in the way of construction materials, which is odd, actually. You would think, how many vehicles have I got on these lines? What have we got here? Oh, that's probably why it's not doing very well. I haven't done much to make this whole setup any more efficient. I probably should. In fact, thinking about it, I could grab construction materials from down here and take those to Fargo if I really wanted to. Which I kind of want to. I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to focus on getting these bus and tram stops in here just to get people moving around a little bit. So, you know, it'd be really cool if I could hold shift to place these on either side of the road. But I guess we'll just do it this way for now. We'll do like a single little loop going around here. Should be totally fine. We'll bring it up this way. We'll bring it down here. We'll bring it down to here and here. And I guess right about there and right about there. And that should be fine. That should be more than enough vehicles to go around Fargo. So new line from here to there, right to wherever that is. And like I said, we'll just loop around the entirety of Fargo and see what happens. Probably a good idea to get one going the other way at some point, but for now, we'll not worry too much about it. So nice and bright green. And of course, we want to rename it to, oh God, was it RP, I guess, Road Passengers, and Fargo, it is loop number 1. All right. So now that that's done, we want to grab some vehicles, and it's going to be these guys, I guess. I suppose that's probably a decent enough color. I don't think we have any other, not color, decent enough option. We don't have any others. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. We'll make them green, and we'll put them on the Fargo loop, which is right there. So we'll send people out. We'll see what happens. We actually do have people here already wanting to go to Philadelphia, which is fantastic news. This had no passengers on the way here, but that's all right. So that should be good, right? That's actually going to give us people going to I guess Philly at the very least. And then we have like we've got 4 people in Philadelphia wanting to go to Fargo. We also have a deficit of meat, which is potentially concerning. Did one of those trains recently leave here? We have one on the way back. We have this one, which is full. We have this guy, which is not full. But I mean, at the very least, we're still making money. So, you know, it's not an emergency. It's looking like we'll probably have 105 meat in here by the time that other train gets back as well. So as long as the trains are running full to Fargo, I'm not really too concerned. Oh, and there it is. The first passenger train coming into Philadelphia with people on board. How much are we looking at for 25 people? 340,000. That's actually not too bad. That's not too bad at all. I don't know if that's going to be a profit right off the bat. It isn't, but that's, I guess, to be expected. I'm not really shocked that it's not a great profit, but whatever. The Meat Food Philly line is making money. The oil to refine to fuel line is making money. My Laredo Slag and Brick line is not doing too great, but that was also kind of to be expected. And oh my God, there is so much fuel down here. Okay. We might want to do something about this because we have a lot of fuel. Oh, I love that it actually gets stored here as well. That's a lot of fuel that needs to go places. So it was going to Warren. So Detroit does need fuel. Okay. Here's what I'm thinking, and this might be cheeky. This might be cheeky. I'm gonna, So, what I'm thinking we do, load up some fuel, take it all the way over to Detroit via wagon, and then use the same wagons to head out and pick up some coffee beans, and then bring those back to turn them into, oh, it's 2 to 1 though. Ugh. I don't like that ratio. But I guess we can make it work. We would pick up fuel, take it to Detroit, pick up some beans, roast them, or do whatever. What is it we do with them? So that's coffee berries, then turn them into beans. Bring the beans back to here. They get dropped off and loaded onto a train. The wagons pick up more fuel and repeat the cycle. The train in question would be one that goes from here to Fargo, and it would essentially be a supplementary line to increase the amount of food getting produced, which would then in turn give more food to Fargo, and also more food to Philly. I like that idea. I kind of like that idea a lot. So let's see what we're doing here. So Detroit needs fuel. This unload stop here is good enough to deal with it. This place here is going to need a truck stop. So make this a bit longer. We'll go for a single platform on the right. And I guess we'll try and put it, you know, a little bit of a distance away from this thing. We'll go for here. That should be fine. So we're going to pick up berries. We're going to bring them back. And I guess we just go for this thing right here. We'll just go for the one sort of truck stop like this. That can go straight through. And I suppose we can just punch a road straight through there. And that should be okay. So let's give that a quick shot and see what happens. And hope for the best. So now that the stops are in, we want to get a line that goes here from Warren North all the way over to Detroit. And then all the way out to here. And then we want it to go to here. And that's going to be a lot. That is going to be a lot. But what we're doing is in Warren, we are loading up on fuel. And we're going to be unloading coffee beans. On Oak Street, we are unloading exclusively fuel. That's fine. I guess we'll just set that to be unload fuel. At Detroit Exchange, we are loading up on coffee berries. And then at Salinas North, we are loading up on coffee beans, unloading the coffee berries. And that should be fine. Okay. That's a lot. I don't really know what this line is. It's a Detroit one, so it's red, I guess. So, road cargo, Detroit. And I guess it's fuel / coffee berries to beans to train. Right? It didn't quite Didn't quite get to spell that out properly. We'll shorten coffee down to just, sea berries is coffee berries and then train. So that's fine. This line needs to be red, like all the other Detroit lines, and is going to need a whole bunch of wagons, which I suppose could just come out of Philadelphia, to be quite honest with you. Because we're just going to use these ones. So let's go for 20. It's a fair chunk of money, but we'll go for 20 of those. We'll get them in nice red wagons and put those on the fuel to berries to beans to train thing. And that'll be all right. So we'll see how that goes. We should see berries getting produced, which they are. And we should eventually see some fuel end up on that Detroit line. Although looking at this, we might need to configure this guy a little bit and just get some additional cargo spots in here to allow this to work a little more efficiently. So something a bit like that should be fine. We can go in and modify this guy, move it over to a different platform, which will be platform 1. And that'll be all right. So everything's nicely separated now, which is good. Still a massive amount of fuel to go to, way too much fuel to go to Warren, but that'll get sorted out eventually. And I guess what we should also do is upgrade the Warren fuel line, which only has 5 vehicles. So duplicate all of those, grab all of them, replace them with these guys, or I guess these guys, right? It's just Warren fuel. So upgrade, I guess, and that should be fine. I think the Warren fuel line is just bringing fuel into Warren. I don't think it's doing anything else. That'll be all right. And yeah, we'll move that down towards Detroit, and everything should be great. It's going to take a while for that line to be remotely efficient, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. And then I guess what we're doing is moving the beans to here. So we need a train, right? We need a train to do this. So we need another line. Oh my God. This is going to be a very, very busy station. We might want another platform, to be quite honest. In fact, I think we do. I think we're going to need another platform. I'm not 100% sure how this is going to work, but I think this is kind of the way to do it. In fact, you know what? I think taking all of this out right back to like here is a pretty good idea. And then we can go to platforms and throw, this right here. And honestly, I'm going to go a little further on the tracks just to make sure that we have enough space for all of this. We'll bring them out a bit further as well. And we'll see what happens. We'll see if this is going to work. So all of this along all of here. Throw these guys in the middle. I just messed one of them up. That's great. Get you out of there and do this. And can I put some buildings on here? Can I get like a little cargo building in there? No, that's unfortunate. I could get them along the side. That'd be kind of cool, but we'll leave it be for now. And I guess what we're going to do is, well, we're going to need to go back to tracks and we're going to need to figure this out. Because what I'm thinking I want to do is, we can do that, right? That's not so bad. I guess that's kind of the way to do it. So bring this guy in here, something like that. And that'll be all right. So they come in on the right. They need to cross over to this side to get out. And then from here, this guy needs to go. Oh my God, that's going to be so messy. That is going to be so messy, but I think we're going to have to do it this way. Those overlaps are so close together, but I think that's kind of the way to do it. So they go like this. Maybe, can I get a little crossover here? I can. There's a lot going on in there, but I suppose that is arguably more efficient than having all of the trains going to like the same places. Just slightly concerned at how this is going to work, because I could put other, oh, I really could split this up, couldn't I? I really, really could. Can I do this? No. Can I do this? I can. I'm hoping this station's big enough for all the trains, because I actually kind of want to do this. Oh man, I'm not looking forward to figuring out the signals on this at all. Let's see. So there's a stop here on the bridge. That's fine. Maybe the stops in the bridge are kind of the way to go. Or maybe a little further down, like here and here. So the train's kind of, you know, if there's a train kind of here, maybe it stops on the way out. If there's another train coming in, that's probably not a bad idea. It stops there. And then this one has to come out. So maybe it stops as well. I don't know how good of an idea this is, but we'll see. We'll see if that works. I'm kind of hopeful. And then looking at this, I should, in theory, be able to move you to platform 2. I think. Does that still work? So yeah, you come in, you cross over, you come back out. All right. So that's fine. That now splits things up a little bit. The trains shouldn't be held back as much. Now all I need to do is set up a new line that goes from platform 3 out to Fargo. And we could probably set this up to use a different platform as well, but I'll leave it be for now because this isn't going to be too crazy. And I guess this is train cargo. It is Salinas. And it is... what is it? Coffee beans we're moving now? So, coffee beans to food. And that should be all right. Now, what color do we do for Salinas? Salinas is orange. Okay, so that one right there. And let's see what kind of train we need for this, because I hadn't... actually, no, it doesn't matter. It's just a one-way trip. So let's get the Baldwin in black. So there we go. And for the passenger wagons, not passenger wagons, the cargo wagons, it's just the box cars, which can be this nice red color. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of those. A nice 3 million should be all right. We'll buy that. We'll put it on the Salinas coffee beans line. And does that work the way I wanted it to? Let me have a look at my lines. It comes in here. It goes out and does its thing. You know, I realize I don't know that these signals here are a good idea, because if a train has to come in here, I guess it would stop back there or back there. I guess we'll see what happens. There's only one train on that side for now anyway, so we'll see how that goes. I should also probably look at the frequency of all of this. So the frequency or the rate on this guy is 37. The rate on this guy is 21. So let me go and actually manage. Sorry, let me bring that back up. Pin U and manage vehicles. So I need the rate on this guy to be... I'm going to double it. I think just doubling it's probably fine. So do that, bring it up to 42. And that should be all right. And I wonder, are they coming out of... They are coming out of Warren. Okay. Not bad. So we should eventually see some fuel get over to Detroit. We'll see some coffee, berries, and beans get over to this station. And I'm hoping that just makes more money. That's kind of the goal. I'm really enjoying... Ooh, there's so many people wanting to move around Philadelphia right now. Not bad. Not bad at all. How are you looking? You've got a decent amount of oil. Okay. You've got your usual delivery. You are a passenger train with 58 people on board. Not bad at all. 12 waiting to get back there. Okay. All right. I mean, people are moving around. This is what we want. This is good. Oh, now this is a little bit concerning. The Meat Food Philly line has 53 units of meat waiting in Philly, obviously. And we have a train coming back, which is almost full of food. But the concern is that we are now not producing enough meat to keep up with the Meat Food Philly line. So we might actually want to do something about that, because currently, looking at this line, it has... Where am I looking? I'm looking for the line. It has a rate of 117. And then I guess this guy has a rate of 110. So, manage vehicles. There's only 10 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and duplicate, which brings this guy up to a grand total of 165, which is lovely. Looking down here, we need to look at this one, which has a rate of 81. which frankly, I'd like that to be a little bit better as well. But if I remember right, it's 1-to-1. Interesting. But then is it 1 grain to 1 cow to 1 meat, and then it's 1 meat to 1 food. Okay. Or 1 meat to 2 food. Okay, so that does mean, I think, that we want to bring grain, livestock, meat up to 165. Oh boy, all right. So that's 44 vehicles. So we're basically, oh god, we're basically doubling it to 88 vehicles. That's a lot. That is, that's a lot of vehicles. I think they're old wagons as well. So let's start by replacing all of them, which brings us to 101. And then give me, I don't know, 10 of them, I guess, and duplicate. That brings us to 124. Duplicate again, brings us to 147, and 170 is perfect. So 74 vehicles, not quite 88. And that should be all right. And then looking in there, it seems like all the rest of the wagons have already been upgraded, which is what we're looking for. So hopefully that improves things just a little bit. In terms of Laredo, they are now getting the fuel that they want. They are getting a decent bit of the food. They're getting plenty of tools, and the construction material is better as well. Laredo is actually growing really, really nicely. So I almost wonder if we want to get some passenger loops going around here. Because we absolutely could, in theory, do that. We could also, the way we've split the Fargo stuff here, we could do a passenger station up here somewhere if we really wanted to. You know, maybe something that kind of comes in and goes across and goes right there. That could connect over to Pueblo if we really wanted it to. That'd be interesting, although it would probably make more sense if we just had like a passenger line come out and go straight to Laredo from Philadelphia. I don't know. I guess we keep an eye on it. Either way, we're making money at the very least, so I'm happy about that. And oh my god, there's so many vehicles there. What are you all for? Oh, that's the Detroit one. Okay, that makes sense. It's ridiculous, but it makes sense. Ooh, we just got a boat and we just got a new train. Okay. I'm almost wondering if we should try and do something with boats, like really early on. It'd be kind of cool. I think it'd be kind of cool. I don't know if we should though, because the only real connection I can think of would be a boat from here to Detroit. And then I guess maybe Port St. Lucie and Warren. That'd be interesting. I mean, the Warren one would have to have some kind of wagon coming out to pick it up, but I guess we could do it. I guess we could have some fun there and see what happens. Just see if people will be, yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. We might as well. So we'll do, I guess a passenger harbor. Could go, well, we probably want to get this at an angle that kind of matches the coastline. So let's go for a large one. So we'll do something like that, right? And then what we can do is configure this thing, and we have that right there. We probably want another one, or maybe a cargo one. I don't know if we need a cargo one, but we'll do a cargo harbor there, and I'll throw another passenger harbor here. Not that I'm ever going to use all of these, but I don't know. I like the look of it, I suppose. So we'll do this. We'll do, I don't know what way around this necessarily needs to go, but we'll do this. I think those are okay-ish. It's kind of hard to tell. Cargo is gonna be there, I suppose, and we could do like another passenger harbor there. It's a waste of money to build something this chunky when I'm probably not going to use it, but it looks interesting, and that's kind of what I'm going for. So let's get ourselves a nice road that goes just right in front of this thing, which is going to be about there. I probably want that to be a bit lower, to be completely honest with you. So let's see. Can I lower this down just a little bit? So like there. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'd like it to be a little closer. Something a bit more like that, I think, is going to look a little bit better. So right about there, I guess, and we'll build it. I don't really want to get rid of those buildings, but I also want to do this so it slopes down kind of nicely. So like there. And then I can smooth that out and make it look all nice like. So let's just hit that with a smoothing brush, make it look all proper. And that's now a port for Port St. Lucie. Now I just need to do smaller versions of that for Philadelphia and Detroit. Okay, so we have a loop going around Detroit. We have a port in Detroit as well. We have a loop that was going around Philadelphia already, so what I've done is I've expanded that, so it now goes down to Philadelphia Port, which is probably going to ruin the efficiency of that loop a little bit, and I might want to throw... Yeah, I probably want to throw a few extra vehicles on that, just to make sure. We'll just double it. We'll double it because I can. So that'll help things out a little bit there. And then in Port St. Lucie, we have some, vehicles that'll be coming over from Warren to loop around there. So now we just need boats. And I think what I'm going to do is plain and simple go in here, get myself a shipyard. And this thing needs to be that way around, I think. I'm wondering, can I get it right next to this port? I absolutely can, which I think is going to look pretty cool, actually. Having this thing be right up against the port like that. And that looks all right. So that's basically where the boats are going to come from, although I do want to flatten that out a little bit, just so it looks a little bit better. Something a bit like that. It should be fine. So a bit of water going right up the side of it. Plenty of space at the front for the boats to come out. So let's create ourselves a new line, which is going to be from Port St. Lucie, going up to Philadelphia Port, going to Detroit. I don't know how I feel about all the overlapping there. What side does the boat want to be on there? So it comes out on the left. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, so it goes to Detroit, and then it needs to come back to Philadelphia. So that's going to be a massive boats going back and forth there. But honestly, whatever. Really, that's kind of it. So what do I call this? Boat passenger BP, I guess. And it's going to be Port St. PSL, I guess. Port St. Lucie, Philly, Detroit. And that'll be fine. So now that should be up at the top. I guess we'll make this thing... Let's go with like white for the line, just to be a bit different. And we'll see what happens. And get ourselves a boat and also see what happens. I don't know that this is going to be popular, but I'm curious at the very least. I'm also wondering what my fastest boat is, which is this guy, which is a passenger boat. And I realize, at some point we could probably throw some cargo in here as well and see how that goes. But for now, let's put this on the line and see what happens. And there it is. There's our first boat. Oh my God, Jesus, that's kind of loud. All right. So yeah, we'll see if that's good. And actually looking at this place wants food, right? Could we... Oh, we could. We could grab food. We could put food here. We could bring food from Philly down to here and ship it down to Port St. Lucie. I actually really like that idea. I've got to be honest. I really, really like that idea. I think that's kind of fantastic. So we might have to do that. We really might have to do that. I think that would be really, really cool. Now, you know what I think we should also do? I think we should go in and... I mean, there's 48 vehicles in this line, but I think we should replace all of those, because this is the brick to Philly and tools to Detroit line. I think we should replace all of those with more up-to-date wagons to get that to be a little bit more efficient. And honestly, this is the... What are you guys moving? Your logs to planks? Is that all you do? I think it is. So if I manage all of the vehicles on this line and replace those with these guys for 1.1 million, that will improve things slightly. And this is planks to tools. So select all of those and replace with, I guess, the same thing. We'll see if that works out a little bit for us. And do we have any old wagons still in here? So planks to tools. Where are the tools getting made? That's actually a very good... I don't remember at all where the tools... Oh, they're over here. Okay. So tools to Detroit. Yeah, so that should be fine. Okay, yeah, so that should improve things a little bit around there and just make everything a little bit faster and a little bit more efficient because we're able to move more. And we should, and do by the looks of it, have some coffee beans coming in here. So that production line is now going to be starting as well, which is lovely. I'm not too sure how efficient that's necessarily going to be, but at the very least, Detroit is now getting some fuel. It does have the capacity for passengers to move around. So that's kind of what we're looking for, I guess. And then here, I'm not expecting much. I'm not expecting this to be popular. I expect that boat line to just eat money, but that's okay. That's kind of what it's there for. It's mostly just because I thought it'd be cool to have. You know, I'm also realizing that Port St. Lucie happens to want machines. It's also got one person waiting to get out. Where could we make those if we were to do it? It's looking like here. If I was to combine silver bars and steel, now I can make silver bars here. Where can I get silver, though? That's the real question. Doesn't look like there's anywhere nearby to get it, which is a bit unfortunate. So we can't necessarily make them there. There's silver over here, but I don't know that that's going to be too efficient. We got a silver mill down here. We've got, ooh, interesting. We've got wood and steel to make, I guess, machines down that way. That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if we could set that up, which it doesn't look like we necessarily can, at least not at the minute. Although my money is climbing, so eventually we can start doing these bigger, you know, expansive industries. Just, I don't think we're there yet. Regardless, though, I do think it would be cool to bring food down to Port St. Lucie via a boat. And I feel like, I mean, Philadelphia is getting nearly all the food that it wants. It's not quite there, but it's getting there. And that's kind of what's important. I mean, look in here, this thing has 75 units of food on board. So I would imagine if we really wanted to, we could probably move some of that food down to the docks. So I'm actually going to give this a shot and see, you know, what we can do with it. As for a small dock on here, I think I'm just going to go with a large cargo one just because I can. And then in terms of cargo buildings, I mean, here, maybe? Or what if I did this and I did this? Can I delete the middle one? Yeah, that kind of works out. So that's not too bad. And then if we go and that's the landing, we need a boat dock right there. And I need to do that down in the other one as well. But we'll give that a shot. I do want to bring this road straight across just to make it look like there's a bit of something going on there. Looking down at Port St. Lucie, we need to configure this guy with a landing right here and a landing right there. And now we should be able to do cargo, which we totally can. So let's set this up, I suppose. So we want to go from here and we want to go to here. And that's not quite where I want it to go. I'd kind of like that to go to, well, I guess spot number 1. No, I just did passengers, didn't I? I want it to go here. So that's now working the way I want it to. And I suppose that's going to be boat cargo. And it's Philly, I suppose. Food to Port St. Lucie. And I guess that's the way we'll do it. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird doing this, but I'm hoping for good things. And I guess it's a Philly line, so technically it should be yellow, but I'm kind of wanting to go for like a bright red just because I can, just to be a bit different. It's boat cargo after all. In fact, maybe all the boat lines should be like a blue. No, that'll get weird. We'll do this. That should be all right. And what we'll do is Philadelphia Port, you are loading up on, where is it? Food's down here, and here you're unloading, I guess, whatever you've got. And that should be all right. Maybe one day we can pick something up. Oh, hold on a minute. Oh, now hold on a minute. If I was to move grain from here to there, we could move livestock to here, move livestock from Port St. Lucie up to Philadelphia, move that livestock from Philadelphia into here, and suddenly we're helping our food production line. So we're sending food one way, we're getting livestock back the other. That That seems like a good idea. Ooh, that seems like a good idea. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like it when this happens. I like when things work out like this. All right. How far away can I put this thing? Can I put it like here? I can. What if I sort of turn it around and do it that way? Yeah. Okay, let's move it like this, so it's sort of, I guess, in the middle of the farm. It's a bit of a weird place for it, but we'll do this, and that should be all right. So we'll do that. Give me a section of streets, which can go, I suppose, like that. Oh, I like this. I like this a lot. So this guy's going to come up this way. We need a drop-off point, and I think we only need one platform, so swing this guy around a little bit to, I want to say, about there. And then we need to drop this off down at the port, so we just need an unload stop, which can be right about there. Oh, that's exciting. Okay, so what we do is we want to go from here, we want to go to there, and to there. And essentially, at the south spot, we are loading up on grain. At the north spot, we are unloading grain, picking up livestock. And here, we're just unloading everything. Oh, that's exciting. That's really exciting. Okay. So in terms of vehicles, I mean, this is our first Port St. Lucie. So it's road cargo. It is PSL, I suppose. And it is grain... grain to livestock to port, I suppose, is how we'll look at that. And where is it? Road cargo, PSL. What color was PSL? We used white for that. We used sort of a brown, didn't we? Use that color right there. Okay. So that's fair enough. I kind of think we should probably connect these roads up just to make that a little bit faster. But I like that. I like that a lot. And after a little bit of work, all of that is now set up. We also have a boat down here, which is going to do all of the heavy lifting. We have grain being produced down here. We have some vehicles on the way from Warren. So we should end up seeing this grain go to here. The grain becomes livestock. The livestock is brought down to the port, gets loaded onto this boat, which is going to go up to Philadelphia, where it's going to drop off the livestock. That's going to get moved, turned into meat. That meat is going to be loaded onto a train here, which is going to take it over to Fargo, turn it into food, bring it back. The food gets split between Philadelphia, Laredo, and some of it comes down to the port, where the same boat that brought in the livestock will take it back to Port St. Lucie. That is a hell of a production chain. But I'm actually quite pleased with it, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing whether or not this does good things. I'm also realizing I could have done this in a much, much simpler way. I could have just brought the grain from PSL up to here and turned it into livestock right about here. That actually would have been probably better. Or I could have brought grain from here and taken it up there and then moved it over. You know... We're going to ignore the fact that this exists because, frankly, I don't care. Frankly, I like my boats, okay? I like the idea of using boats for this. I think it's cool. So, we'll see what happens. We also happen to have, like, one person that wants to go to Detroit, so that's nice. And I also really like how I slotted this in here. I think that looks awesome. Having the truck stop thing right in there looks pretty cool. And then we have this one here for some reason, just because I could. But I like this. I think that's going to be a decent little setup. I'm also noticing there's like a decent amount of tools waiting to get out of there. There's actually a really good number of people wanting to get out of Philadelphia, which is kind of exciting. And I'm also wondering, can I just make sure that everything's spread out across multiple terminals here? So move you to Terminal 5, move you to Terminal 4, just to sort of spread things out a bit. Because, you know, we don't want everything stacked on a single platform. Oh, I totally forgot to put a truck stop in Port St. Lucie. So let's just very quickly try and do something about that. So let's do that, and let's do a little street that comes down off the bottom of it, just to get it all connected together nicely. So something like that kind of works out, and that'll be our truck stop for all of this. And then the drop-off is going to be plain and simple. It's going to be right up there. So let's get that line created. It's going to go from here to there and is going to be the same brown color. It is road cargo. It is PSL and it is, I guess, food is what we'll call it. Just plain and simple, PSL food. And that should be all right. And then we can go ahead, grab another vehicle or two from Warren. I probably should just put something in Port St. Lucie for all of this, but we'll just grab it from Warren anyway. And that goes to road cargo, PSL food. And the condition, wait, what's going on here? PSL food, passenger stop cannot be used by cargo vehicles. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Let's just manage line, add a station there and get rid of that one. So there we go. That should be all right. That should now be working. So now it's working. We should then see some food get split between all of these guys eventually, ready to go down to the port, which is great. I actually think this was a pretty good investment, to be quite frank. I'm actually quite pleased with it. I don't know that it's going to make massive amounts of money, but at the very least, I have boats. And you know what I didn't have before I built all of this? I didn't have boats, and now I do. So I see that as an absolute win.